Whether you love PvP fights in Arc Raiders or you hate them, if you enjoy playing this game, one way or another, you are going to need to throw down with some other real players at some point. And the combat in this game can be really nuanced, so I wanted to make a video breaking down some tips on how to survive more PvP fights.
I hit one.
One's knocked.
Right here, right here.
Yep. Two flared, two flared.
I only saw two drop.
No, there's a third. He's up here. I got him.
What just happened?
Now, if you're a PvP demon in this game with a million coins and a stash full of purple guns, I appreciate you being here, but these tips probably won't blow your mind. I don't claim to be particularly good at PvP. These are just things I find myself working on a lot when I'm playing with my friends, and I find way more success when I keep these things top of mind. Also, it's important to know that I play mostly with my friends in squads of 3, so these tips are focused more on squad, trio combat, but every single one of these tips is applicable to solo play as well. I know the solo experience is much less PvP focused, which I actually think is pretty cool, but if you are a solo struggling to win PvP fights, know that these tips will apply to you as well. Before we move on, I want to take a second and thank War Thunder for sponsoring this video. War Thunder is a free-to-play, large-scale multiplayer game where ground vehicles, aircraft, and even naval vessels fight in epic battles at locations all around the world. It's available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and all of the available tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships in this game are all iconic real-world machines, and it even includes some lesser-known prototypes as well. And there are some wild, super advanced military technologies available at your fingertips. Guided missiles, active protection systems, smoke screens, night vision devices, strike drones, and even a nuclear strike that can flatten an entire map. The damage system in War Thunder is actually incredibly realistic and intuitive. Disable a tank's tracks and you immobilize it. If you hit a plane's fuel tank, it will ignite. Each hit feels really impactful, and the X-ray mode actually shows you some really cool information about how you hit the enemy. The graphics are always getting better, there are tons of customization options in the game, and the recent Spearhead update added even more new powerful vehicles to the game, like the French Jaguar, the British Chieftain 900, the Soviet T-3485, and more. The Stalingrad and Carpathians maps have been completely revamped visually, so now they look even better. If you are interested, you can download War Thunder for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox by using the link in the description. All new players and those who haven't played War Thunder in a half a year or more will receive some special bonuses like 100,000 Silver Lions and a special Eagle of Valor decorator, and you can experience these battles on War Thunder mobile as well, which you can download and play for free on iOS and Android using the link in the description. Thank you so much to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Starting off, number 1 is understand the utility in this game. I personally find this to be potentially the most important part of the PvP in this game, sometimes more important than what gun you're using. The utility items in this game are all extremely valuable and can turn the tide of a fight very quickly, if you remember how to use them and use them well. I'm obviously not going to be able to cover every single utility item or every single scenario in which they are useful, but it's super important for you to start experimenting with the items in the game and learn how to use them effectively. There are items that let you play more defensively, like the barricade kit, the door blocker, or any of the traps. Tired of getting third-partied from behind? Well, start setting traps to cover flanks or barricade doors so that people can't get through. This can buy you time to reposition and flank another team, or finish a fight with a team that you're currently fighting before the other team third parties you. There are items that let you play more aggressively. Grenades are extremely powerful in Arc Raiders. The heavy fuse grenade and the trigger grenades do insane amount of damage in PvP. These can get you huge opening damage if you know that there are people hiding in a room, or it can finish a kill on someone that you almost got right as they rounded a corner. This can also be huge to counter the third-person peeking as well. If you know that there's a team just sitting on a corner and you can get 2 or 3 heavy fuse grenades down there, they are going to be really sorry that they held that angle. The showstopper, blaze grenade, and gas grenades can delay a push if a team is trying to get aggressive on you. Smokes and zip lines are absolutely insane for traversal, and you can use these things to be insanely aggressive if you want to, pushing up on a team, or you can use them defensively to get out of a fight you don't want to be in. The lure grenade can cause problems for the other team by attracting AI to them, and the defib allows for insanely fast reses on your teammates, which could be the thing that wins you the fight. The point is, everything is useful, and you can use anything in almost any way that you want. It's important that you use the tools that you have, and honestly, you should probably plan the engagement around what you and your squad have at your disposal. The amount of times that I have lost a fight because I thought I had a defib on my quick slots when I actually didn't, or I thought I had grenades, but I forgot that I just swapped the grenades out for a zip line. Those things can be really frustrating. So know what you have, plan around what you have, and use what you have. You will start winning more fights. Moving on to tip number 2, length of engagement matters. As I'm sure you already know, Arc Raiders is a game where third party, fourth party, fifth party, and even sixth parties can happen all of the time. The combination of really good audio on distant fights, the flares that go up when you down somebody, and the fact that people are constantly spawning into raids means that there's almost always somebody hunting you down after you win a fight. This is extremely important to keep in mind when you're fighting a team. Sometimes fights go on for a really long time, and those fights can actually be extremely fun. But sometimes you and your squad might need to take an opportunity to reset, group up, reposition, and form a new plan so that you don't get run up on. It's really easy to start making really bad decisions when you've almost wiped the team. Maybe you have 2 of them down and you want to get that 3rd kill to wipe this team off the board. But one of you is really hurt, one of you is low on ammo, and the other gets really aggressive to finish off the last guy. Even if you win that fight, you are just asking to get picked off one by one by another squad that rolls up. Now, I'm definitely not saying that pushing the 3rd guy is always the bad play. Sometimes that's exactly what you need to do, because sometimes the opposite happens. You let the 3rd guy get away, and then he gets some of the reses off on his teammates, and now you have to fight that team all over again. The point is, the longer an engagement goes, the easier it is to start making mistakes, and the more likely you are to get third party on, and those 2 things don't mix. So just be intentional, communicate with your squad, and try to be aware of how long you have been making noise and where a potential third party can come from. Tip number 3 is set the right distance. This is one of the things that I struggle with a lot and has been something that has caused me to lose way too many fights that I should have won. It can be extremely tempting to see someone and then just immediately start shooting them. But if you have it, you need to take some time to choose the right time and the right distance for a fight. If all of you just have Stitchers, then shooting a guy 100 meters away is probably not the right play. They now know where you are, and they are going to be able to heal up before you get close enough to do more damage. You've wasted an opportunity to get in close and surprise them. Arc Raiders combat can often really favor aggression. The term violence of action is a military term for sudden, overwhelming, and decisive application of force to neutralize a threat without hesitation. And that is oftentimes how fights feel in Arc Raiders, especially if you get jumped. And you can use that to your advantage, but only if you choose the right time to fight. Most people will instinctively try to bail or get around a corner or heal if they take damage first, so you can use that to your advantage by moving in close and being turbo aggressive, and can oftentimes wipe a team before they even realize what's going on. Now, it's important to remember that that turbo aggression can be used on you, and when that happens, it can be really hard to kind of recover from. Once again, understand what utility you have. Throwing a smoke grenade down quickly can cover the whole kind of battlefield with smoke and give you an opportunity to get away, or maybe playing a little bit split can help your team not get all of you downed right away. But like we said before, it oftentimes just comes down to being aware of how much noise you're making and being aware of your surroundings so that you don't get run up on. It's also often important to wait a little bit before you start a PvP fight so that you can get some more information. Maybe you end up seeing that their teammates are way behind them and now you have information on where all 3 of them are, or you realize that they're flanking another team, so you let them start that fight and then strategically third party it. Try to gather as much info as you can before starting a fight. And this kind of all ends up going back to what we talked about before with the utility. Understand the strengths and weaknesses of your team's weapons and the utility that they have, and find a plan that works the best. If you guys have some Pharaohs or Renegades or Ospreys, maybe engaging from a distance is an easy way to get an early pick, and then you can be super aggressive while they are frantically trying to res the teammate. Once again, understand what you have and try to formulate a plan. Don't just react to what you see immediately. And tip number 4 is respect the arc. I know a lot of PvP focused players can get super frustrated with the AI in this game. Dying to a Rocketeer or getting shocked by a Hornet when you're in a super tense PvP battle can be extremely frustrating, and I can totally empathize with that. But that kind of is the point of the game. The Arc are the bad guys, and they are up there to kill any and everyone. So a big part of being successful in PvP in this game is understanding how the Arc work and planning around them. You need to have the ability to change your plan at a moment's notice, and the Arc showing up can often be that moment. If a Rocketeer aggroes you or a Bastion gets alerted to you, you might need to make that an opportunity for your squad to regroup and find a different path, or maybe you just need to break completely away from that fight while you're still alive and reset the encounter completely. or maybe even just leave if it's not worth it. Again, the longer fights go, the more bad decisions happen, and this happens a lot with the Ark. You might have a team dead to rights or be chasing the final one, but if a leaper jumps on your squad and you don't react accordingly, that might be all that last guy needs to turn the tide of the fight in his favor. Also, having the right equipment can help the Ark not be as big of a nuisance in those PvP fights. Having a backup gun that uses heavy ammo, like an anvil or a pharaoh, can be a quick way to deal with the small Ark like wasps or hornets. If you have them, carrying maybe a wolf pack in your secure container can be huge for dealing with a rocketeer or a leaper that suddenly jumps on you. And if you are really balling out, having a photoelectric cloak in your secure container can be insane for helping you get out of really sticky situations with the Ark. But either way, just make sure that as much as you can, you are aware of what Ark are around and you are willing to bail on a fight if the Ark makes that fight not worth it. Those are kind of the big 10,000 foot view things to really focus on if you want to start surviving more PvP fights, but there are quite a few other bonus tips that I'll rattle off here at the end. One is don't get too hungry to finish off a downed enemy. The amount of times somebody will just run out in the open to knock out the person that they downed, and then they just get shot by someone else on the team is kind of hilarious.
Hey, there's no more guys up there. 2 more guys up here. 2 more guys up here. You're gonna die, you idiots!
I get it, you don't want that person to crawl away and you lose their loot, or you don't want that person to get rezzed, which is totally understandable, but you probably need that time to heal or reload. You don't want to shoot them, wasting even more of your ammo and revealing your location to his teammates, and knocking them out requires you to be so close. Wait, take a minute, just be aware of where they are and make sure that there isn't somebody pushing you or there isn't something else you need to be doing before you go in and knock someone out. Number 2 is reposition often. PvP fights often kind of come down to just last known location. Everything you're doing is based on the last known location of the enemy, and everything they're doing is based on their last known location of you. So if you just stay in the same spot for the whole fight, it makes it really easy for them to formulate a plan on how to move up on you, get grenades on you, or flank you. So try to be moving around as frequently as you can. Get some damage, move to a different rock, maybe hit a flank, communicate with your squad, but reposition as often as you can. Number 3 is don't group up too much. Now, this is kind of a give and take. There's no hard and fast rule. Sometimes, like we talked about earlier with that violence of action, that aggression, you and your squad want to be stacked up, ready to go, just killing everybody. But if you aren't in one of those turbo pushes, everybody grouping up while you're healing or while you're looting or while you're holding a corner can often be a recipe for disaster. It can be a recipe for some other group to be really aggressive on you. One grenade coming in and doing damage to all 3 of you is a really bad spot. Oftentimes, if a group is being aggressive, playing a little split can allow some of your teammates to get cross damage on those people getting too aggressive, and you can really turn a fight around or at least delay it by being a little split. And lastly, this seems self-explanatory, but remember, in an extraction shooter, prioritize surviving over everything else, especially over kills. I know that sounds like a dumb tip because of course you want to survive, but if you were recording your gameplay, you would be surprised at how often, if you watched the way you died back, you would wonder, why did I do that? Why did I push that? Why did I get too aggressive? Why did I swing that so wide? It can be really easy to just focus on the kills. It's fun to PvP and you want to get that kill, but remember, this is an extraction shooter. It's really about surviving, getting all this gear back to your stash, or at the very least, not losing the kit that you have so that you don't have to re-kit again. So maybe you don't get to loot that guy, maybe you don't get to flush that kill, maybe you don't get to wipe that squad, but making sure that you always have an exit strategy and making sure you're prioritizing surviving over getting the kills is the way that your stash fills up in these games, I promise. But there it is. Those are my kind of top tips for how to get better at PvP in Ark Raiders. I really hope that these helped. Let me know down in the comments below if I missed something or if you have another tip based on your experiences that you want to share. I stream Ark Raiders pretty much every single day on Twitch and here on YouTube. Those links will be down below. If you're looking for people to play with our Discord, we have a ton of Ark Raiders channels. That is linked down below as well. Thank you so much for hanging, and I will definitely see y'all on the next one.